Hello, this is A Automotive Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the 2021 Ford Bronco Dig with Trail Turn Assist. Now, on paper, the Ford Bronco has a few notable features that trump those of the Jeep Wrangler. Now, that's comparing the Sasquatch Package to the Rubicon. It's the most obvious thing to do, but the off-roader from Wayne, Michigan, has a few tricks up his sleeves that make a lot more sense in the real world rather than on a specification sheet. Now, Trail Turn Assist, for example, uses torque vectoring to reduce turn radius by mind-boggling of 40%. Now, the Bronco Nation uploaded a video on YouTube of a prototype with this system controlled from the hero switches that you see here on the dashboard. You see this is the front locker and this is the rear locker, and this right here is the off-road turn assist. Now, I can't tell you how many three-point turns are on the menu when you're driving the Wrangler on a narrow trail, but by locking the inside rear wheel during cornering, the Bronco makes these butt pucker moments off the beaten path a bit of a breeze. Now, the hero switches are located just above the Sync 3 and the Sync 4 infotainment system. Now, to be more precise, from left to right, the buttons are labeled with icons that stand for front diff lock, rear diff lock, trail turn assist, ESP off, and the hazard lights, which you see here. And this is the ESP off, of course. Everybody knows those universal symbols. Now, what comes a bit of a disappointment is that the trail turn assist won't be available on the 7-speed manual transmission with a crawler gear instead of overdrive. Ford has developed a system with the 10R80 torque converter automatic in mind, and the Sasquatch off-road package is exclusive with this transmission as well. Now, for many years now, we've known this feature, our technique, to be blunt as the dig. The science behind it is rather simple. The driver locks one axle, leaves the other in neutral, and installs a second parking brake to lock up the rear wheel of his choice. Now, Toyota, on the other hand, had a similar system to Trail Turn Assist and a full-size Land Cruiser, but is marketed as Turn Assist Control. Last but certainly not least, here's a question for you. What is the Bronco Nation, and why do they have so much unique content on the all-new Bronco? Now, the answer to that is the external marketing agency Jackson Dawson, which runs the independent enthusiastic community from the shadow on behalf of Ford Motor Company. I mean, this is an awesome network and an awesome community talking about an awesome SUV as a 2021 Ford Bronco. Now, the 2021 Ford Bronco is the most capable SUV ever. With a much broader spread of capabilities, it is substantially superior engine and transmission options, and a comprehensive suite of advanced driver's aid technologies that other 4x4s out there that Bronco should appeal to many drivers. And if a giant off-roader isn't right for you, there's even a crossover in the new lineup too. And we've seen that one, and actually that one also sold out, as you can read out in my next interview. Not my next interview, but my last video. We talk about that and how they sold over 5,500 units. And it's moving up closer and closer, and we have more content coming about that as well. Now, these are the first Ford Broncos which are available since 1996. And with them, Ford has comprehensively reimagined its off-road SUVs. Now, Bronco is now an entire sub-brand, not simply a single model. The 2021 Ford Bronco is a body-on-frame SUV that will, for the first time, come in both 2- and 4-door versions. There will also be a smaller, lighter unibody crossover, which we know as the Bronco Sport. Think of that as a Toyota RAV4 or the Subaru Forester rival. With one key difference, it will actually be capable of off-road. All models in the new Bronco range will be fitted as standard with true four-wheel drive system, capable of mechanically locking the speeds of the front and the rear axle. And together, that's an arrangement that should be considered the bare minimum of the off-road driving. Now, this is just pictures of the car doing the trail turn assist of the SUV. And you can see it here, just in the picture. Probably we go back through it really fast. And this is the Ford Broncos from Bronco6G.com. This is just showing after they had an escapade, and some damage is also done to the SUVs too as well, as they went out testing. So there is a lot to anticipate with this beautiful SUV. Now, let's go back here. I'm messing around with my computer right now, and I'm waiting for things to load. So, now about the lockers, in the 2 and the 4-door Bronco, both offer front and rear axle lockers as options, as you can see here. But because your inside the outside wheel needs to spin at different speeds to round corners. Now, axle lockers also limit your truck's ability to steer. So, basically the front locker and the rear locker, as you can see in the diagram, is showing what's locking up and what's not. You can actually see the picture. You can take a close look at the rear locker, and you see the rear locker in the diagram, and the front locker. You can see the front locker as well here. Now, again, we know about the 2 power plants as the 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 270 horsepower, and we know about the V6 with the 310 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. So we know that the Bronco is the ultimate off-road, the wild track in the Badlands, focus on desert running, while the latter offers the pinnacle of Bronco off-road performance. Now, a disconnect Avo front sway bar as an example, a feature that comes standard on the Badlands model. So technology is not in short supply on the Bronco. You're either packing a trail turn assist feature that uses braking and torque vectoring to drag the inside rear wheel and help the Bronco rotate around tight corners. Now, we also know about the GOAT mode, go over any type of terrain, which is available for mud, rocks, sand, Baja mode, to tailor to the Bronco 4x4 system for each situation. There's so much more you need to know that we need to know about the Bronco. And to learn it all, just keep following my channel and keep coming and keep thumbs up, keep watching, and we'll go over and try to cover a lot of detail. So anyone who ever yanked the handbrake in an old beater knows just how tightly one can rotate a car on slick surfaces. I used to do this all the time when I used to have a Honda CRX. I would hit the brakes and then turn and make the whole car swing over when no traffic was around, nobody was around, and I wanted to hit turns and have some fun. Now, this is basically an advanced interpretation of a ham-fistedness, which is called front dig. Now, a move in which pro off-road drivers lock up one on both rear wheels to navigate a tricky corner. Now, we speculated this tech, and now, if you guys didn't see the new video of the Blue Oval Brute, which it'll provide more detail. Now, this you can also find in the driving. Now, when the driver locks the rear wheel during cornering on a slippery surface, you virtually shorten the vehicle wheelbase, permitting it to navigate a corner that might otherwise require an Austin Power-style multi-point turn. Ford has officially called it Trail Turn Assist, and we should expect a control for it, and this is what we're talking about, the off-road turn assist, and there is a control for it. Now, part of what Dearborn is calling Bronco's Trail Toolbox. The feature is described as helping with driver confidence when getting in and out of tight spaces. They also specifically say it reduces turning radius in low speeds, technical off-road environments. You can guess which one of the applications, will apply to this, to whatever the particular interest that you need the most. Now, at present, it isn't totally clear if this feature is accomplished by way of traction control wizardry or innovative use of Bronco braking system. Now, one source claimed it uses torque vectoring to turn the trick, pun intended, and in doing so reduces turning radius, again what we said earlier, by 40%. Now, for reference, the 2020 Wrangler has a turning radius of about 10.5 meters, which is equivalent to 34.5 feet. If we logically assume the new Bronco is similar in dimensions to its chief competitor with the comparable measures, now trail control would slice that number by 6.3 meters, which would make it 20.7 feet. That's a huge advantage when going off-road. Some call the move the front dig. It's basically a challenge thrown directly at the Wrangler. A dig was once the domain of pro drivers who sometimes set up their race trucks with extra handbrake levers, one for each rear wheel, and knew just when to yank them. What an awesome feature. Probably they put that in there just to get back to the old off-roading. If they put it in a Bronco, that would be sweet, but that's why we have Trail Turn Assist for, to make up for that difference. That's the off-road technology that puts the Ford Bronco ahead of its competition. Let's go back to some of these pics right quick. Now, folks, this is AO Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, share, like, and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.